Magic. All right, thank you. This is the public safety meeting for October 3rd, 2025. And could we do the roll call, please? Kirk?
Kirk is here.
Cosgrove here. Frank here. Severson is absent. Fleming
Here.
Yep. Excellent. Verification of the open meeting compliance law. Yes, chair meeting. Thank you very much. Approval of agenda, 13-point agenda. Looking for a motion. I have Chad for that. Looking for a second. Julie second. All in favor, say aye. Thank you. Item number 5, approval of the minutes, September 5th, 2025. Questions or changes on that? If not, looking for a motion on that. Chad gives me a motion. Julie seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Very much. Anyone not approving? Number 6, public comment. Any public comment from the public? Any comment from the public online or? Hearing none, moving on to item number 7, reports, Sheriff Department activities and monthly bills.
I do not have my traditional report or the monthly bills. Actually, I'm not sure how the monthly bills is going to look going forward because I'm approving them on a weekly basis now, or at least every couple of weeks, but mostly weekly basis. So
that's the new Tyler system.
Yep, that's
doing
the
that.
Tyler system. So Amber prepares the bills for me every week, and then I go through and verify and approve them. So I've been doing that. So I'm not sure if that's going to come back on the agenda or not. Maybe it will. I guess we'll stay tuned for that.
Okay.
I don't have my traditional report prepared today, but there are a few things I just wanted to discuss. I will be meeting with Phil back today on getting specs lined up to get squad bids. So we're gonna probably be soliciting here in the next week or so for bids for squad cars for 2026. We have had some staffing changes or are going through some staffing changes. Since the last meeting, we have hired Andrew Nitka full-time as a jailer dispatcher. We had a resignation or a status change to part-time with Jordan Jacobus. I believe the status change takes place here next week.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. With that, we did interview Tanya Galston for a part-time position. I extended a full-time offer to her, which she accepted, and she'll be starting. She's already started as a temp casual or a part-time. She will be starting full-time next week. Yeah, October 9th.
Okay.
I think we met with, what was the name of the company for the flying squad cars?
Oh, yes. We did, we do have 3 old squads that'll be going for auction next week. Is the start of the auction?
I believe so, yeah.
So we're trying a different company other than Wisconsin Surplus Auction. It is, help me with the name again, Aaron.
Purple Wave?
What?
Is it Purple Wave?
No, Integrity Sales. Integrity Auctions and Sales. They're out of Merrill. They came down, one of the main differences between them and Surplus Auction, they came down, took all the photographs, took videos of the vehicles, do all the legwork for creating the sale post for it. And then similar to Wisconsin Surplus, they don't charge us a fee. They charge a buyer fee for the sale of the vehicles. So okay, we're gonna give them a try.
Let us know. Maybe use other parts of the county that works.
And it looks like maybe they do like large equipment and all sorts of things. So yeah.
Very good. Anything else on department activities or monthly bills? I think from the monthly bill side, it's up to the committee. Is it something you want to see just to have a understanding of what's going on monthly? If that report
we
or
can
something like
continue to
that is
bring it.
available, I think that might be something just so we can on a regular basis see what's
Yeah, we can continue to bring it. I just,
something.
yeah.
But in the new system, new format, so, all right, we'll work through that. All right, item number B, coroner. I see there's a number of items in our folder under the coroner. We're gonna get a hold of anybody specific to address that.
So I did talk with them and I thought Kathy was going to be here at the meeting. She just wanted to make sure that there was information on why or when they request an autopsy.
Okay.
So she put that in there because I know there were questions last month by DA Harper on that. And then she also just had information in there on the coroner fees because that is something we will be looking to change for next year. So there will be information presented next month with the proposal of what the fees for 2026 will look like.
Were those calculated into the budget process for 20?
I don't think the new fees were,
Okay.
no,
Or the,
no,
up, I'm assuming anyway, so,
go off not to.
all right, good. Okay, so those documents are in your folder. These 3 documents. And the coroner's report is in there for August 28th through September 25th. So any questions from the committee on coroner's report or data at this point? All right, hearing none, then we will move on to the circuit court judge.
So Judge McDougall was not able to join us today. She was out last week, a few days, just sick, and so she's kind of catching up on some things from being gone a few days. They continue to just work on cases, both out-of-county cases and in Richland County, and as you know, lots of decisions and just the normal caseload. She is going to Juneau County a little bit more than in the past. It kind of has rotated. When she started, she was going to Iowa County, and then she's been going to Vernon County a lot, and now she's kind of switching to Juneau County a little bit. So it kind of depends on where she's needed at, you know. But right now, we're just going forward with everything the best we can.
Okay, sounds good. Courthouse security report, anything with that at this point? Trying to keep that up on the agenda on a regular basis.
We did have a courthouse security meeting. So we met on a Monday afternoon. We might look at rescheduling that. So again, we only meet on a quarterly basis.
Right.
And we're trying to get prepared for the Justice on Wheels, which is coming up quickly, Monday, October 27th again. So there's some coordination that's taking place with that, both with everything from security to meals and by the local bar association and things. So there's a lot of behind the scenes work I feel like going on. I think maybe Clay can feel free to add, and Stacy on that.
Yeah, so I've been doing some planning on and off for as far as preparing for the event, and I've got mostly everything I need lined up for the day.
Good.
I just have to now go back and verify that the things that I had lined up, I still have access to, and then just get a couple staffing things knocked out. I think we should be good to go on that end. So
That's a one-day event?
That's
It is.
just so you're aware, so the Capitol, there'll be a presence in the parking lot. You'll see them around that day. There'll be a presence in the building.
The Capitol Police that accompany the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
So it'll be in coordination with the Capitol Police, their security, Clay, and possibly the city.
yeah, the city is gonna possibly provide at least one officer for the duration of the event. And then we're gonna have them the other city officers will pop in and out for if somebody needs a break or whatever throughout the day, so.
Do we have a former officer from here that's with Capitol Police now?
We do, yeah. I don't know if he'll be part of the security team or not, so,
Nice.
yeah.
Second question.
Yes.
What are the hours that they'll be in session?
The morning,
Just a morning session?
yeah, the morning, I believe. If you're interested in watching, they need to know, who's here. So, if you like, go to wicourts.gov and you can tool around in there, or if you just do like a Google search for Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice on Wheels, you'll find links to the information. There's a guy's email in there, you contact him, and then I think they shoot you a form that you fill out.
All right. Else courthouse security at this point?
I was at Wisconsin County Association conference that day, so that's why I don't know anything about the security meeting, what went down, but I think the judge was out. And that's when she was sick, so.
So it was a very small meeting and just we'll be meeting again and kind of just doing smaller things together.
But we did meet with John though, like as a sub, not as that committee, but a group of court people regarding security met.
Right. To either have an orientation among some of the more pertinent decision makers for courthouse security, or do a tabletop or a modified tabletop without necessarily a formal AAR under HC. But we're going to try to get a couple of meetings going here in the next month or so to at least either plan for an exercise or go through a smaller version of an exercise for at least the courtroom itself and or maybe other parts of the building as well.
Devin joined us with that. She was a representative of the sheriff's department. So the sheriff's department was a key player in this and was at the table that day.
I know we've talked about doing those exercises, so good. It's good
So
to
we're
see
doing it.
in the process. Good.
Yep,
Excellent.
doing it. It's happening. Progress.
Clicks along, that's good. All right, anything else with that? That's good to hear progress on that. All right, clerk of court?
Hey, September was Juror Appreciation Month. I did a morning show with Phil Nee on September 25th. Just a little bit of jury education, thanks to our jurors, and letting people know what those qualification questionnaires that they might be lucky to get that are going out, that went out, 1,025 of them. Burning up the mail machine this week. So those went out and they build the pool for next year's jury. And, of course, they come from the interface with the DOT between the state courts and the Department of Transportation. And then I get the list of eligibles, send out 1,000+ questionnaires. As those come back, put in all the data from them to determine eligibility based on residency age, felon status, and English proficiency. And of course, you have to be a US citizen, but also, English proficiency. So any rate, our office has been busy doing that. We like to get them out good time in the fall so that we have time to put all of those in before we have to start building panels for next year's jury trials. So by December, we need to have it all set so that we can start out hot with a January panel. So a lot of behind the scenes work that doesn't happen in the courtroom, but is effectuated by the clerk of court's office. That same day then of the morning show, I went to the Capitol in support of a fees bill that would boost the portion of court fees that are retained by the counties. We're still pushing on this. The Clerk of Courts Association's pushing hard. Wisconsin Counties Association supports this. The State Bar of Wisconsin sadly does not. And so we had to bite our tongues and listen to 3 suits tell the legislatures things that from the front lines clerks know are not true. Like that people who cannot afford services aren't offered petitions for indigency. These attorneys told the legislators that they've stood behind, one said he stood behind lines at clerks of courts offices and listened to people say, well, I can't afford to do that small claims action, blah, blah, blah. And so when the clerks of court go, if this gets to the assembly committee, That's one of the points of clarification, will be a big one, that in my 18 years as a clerk of court, never once has anyone said, I can't afford to file. And we didn't say, here's the petition for affidavit for indigency. And if they're on any sort of program or if they're financially indigent, the court will sign a waiver of those filing fees. Filing fees and that access to the court is not the problem. People cannot afford attorneys. And that is what we hear all the time. So I just got a question about this. I just want a little bit of advice. It's illegal for us to do that. So we cannot give legal advice. And when we tell people that is a legal question, you'd have to speak to an attorney. Then they say, I can't afford an attorney. So in the last several years, in 30 years, court fees haven't went up in most parts, but court-appointed counsel rates have went up dramatically. And just in the last few years, they went from $70 an hour to $100. That's a cost borne by the counties that then the people who get those attorneys have to pay back. That's been a burden on the counties and on the individuals. That's nothing collected by the counties. So the State Bar of Wisconsin believes that that the justice system is 100% the taxpayers' burden. That is what they testify. And so then that falls disproportionately for counties like ours that don't have the growth that some of the counties like Ozaukee and Waukesha, that they do. So it's kind of the struggle, right now at the state capitol. If you have a chance to talk to anybody, the fees bill is AB 320. And talk to them about supporting the counties through modest increases in the fees within the bill, and to really give it a look. And if they have questions, to reach out to the clerks of court and the Wisconsin County Association. Very important.
Reaching out to the legislature makes a difference.
It does. And so, that's part of part of the advocacy that we've done now as a Clerk of Courts Association. Clerks are no longer afraid to pick up the phone. They've got everybody on speed dial. They also make numerous trips to the Capitol, and it makes a difference signing in favor of legislation that you support. And so that's what we did. We did that in droves, and we also had testimony, from clerks that day. So some of them that I was joined with down at the Capitol, also the ones that earlier that week I had the pleasure of presenting alongside at the County Association conference in the Dells. We talked about what clerks of courts do, what our key duties are, and took questions about all sorts of things. I presented along with the Dane County, Kenosha County, and Forest County clerks of court. Forest and Richland were both one-judge counties. We're small. And of course, Dane and Kenosha are large. And the Kenosha clerk is the president of our association. The Dane clerk is the chair of our legislative committee. And then Forrest and I were both members of the legislative committee, and we are former presidents of the association. So it was kind of some seasoned clerks taking questions about interpreter use. We had municipal judges in there, county board members. I fielded a lot of good questions that day. As Jen talked about, and we've talked about here, there is a lot of work that's happening to prepare for Justice on Wheels. One of the things that I've been doing this week is making contact with all of the area schools and reaching out quite a ways that have fifth grade classrooms, because there's this cool civics contest, civics essay and arts contest, that the winners of that will be recognized at the beginning of the events that day here in the courtroom, and they'll have a front row seat. It'll be first, second, and third place, fifth graders, along with their parents, their teachers, and their principals. And then they're welcome to stay for the proceedings if they want, or go, but they're going to get special recognition there with all of the Supreme Court justices, which They might not realize now how cool that is, but someday maybe they will. So at any rate, been following up with the Supreme Court office. They've been taking the information to the schools, and then I've been following up their correspondence just to make sure everybody got it and they're working on it. So they're starting to get some entries now, and that should be a really cool thing. Next week, I'll be attending the Clerk of Court Conference up in Wisconsin Rapids. That's Clerks of Court conferences are continuing education events put on by our association. And one of the programs this time is first time in decades that we've allowed a vendor. We don't allow vendors at our conferences because the courts aren't for sale. And so we're not interested in what people are trying to push on us. We already have state software that's uniform in all the counties. We don't need stuff. But breaking with tradition to try to lessen the burden on counties for our registration fees and that sort of things, we are allowing some vendors to come in that provide certain services not definitely bought by the court, but that we could learn from. Tyler is one of the ones that is, Tyler is going to be our first paid vendor. So I think that probably tells you Tyler has deep pockets because, you know, I don't think there was a whole lot of like outreach to get vendors for this very first time, and they grabbed right away. So just whatever, but hey, they're here. We're going to be there. We might as well get some tips and tricks. So we have like half an hour from them. The rest of the program is all stuff that we need to support our statutory duties for case financial, jury management, and budget management. And that's, and of course, we'll do a lot of networking, and we'll also work on our legislative efforts to tune up our association on what's going on and how they can help their counties.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Thank you. Any questions for the clerk of court?
And if you guys allow me to, I'll ask to be excused. We're short-staffed today, and so I
Absolutely.
need
Thank
to
you for
get
the
down.
updates. And that's, I mean,
Thank you.
no, thank you. Register and probate.
I just wanted to kind of add to what Stacy was saying. I think all of you are aware that we're short of attorneys in Richland County. And that, so we no longer have a free legal clinic. When Burns passed away, that kind of fell by the wayside. And so it's so it is kind of a hardship because with having so few counties or so few attorneys in the county, I've heard recent comments that, like Stacy said, not only are this, you know, when we are court appointed, it raised from $70 to $100, but attorneys in the area are raising their fees top as well for their per hour wage to be retained privately. And so they're requiring more down and retainer fees, and they're charging more per hour. And it really is affecting people. And without having a free legal clinic, again, we used to have attorneys that would volunteer at, you know, an hour a week or, you know, a couple hours a month, and they're no longer doing that. So the public feels like they really do not have resources available on some of those things to hire an attorney privately like they used to. So I just wanted to add that because we are hearing that it is becoming more difficult, and they're having to reach out to Reedsburg and Dodgeville and Madison, and we have quite a few attorneys driving from Madison, and so that travel time, all of that affects people. So I just wanted you to be aware of what we're hearing a little bit on some from the public interest, so that you're aware of what we are facing with clients coming in on a day-to-day basis. So on that, then kind of moving on to things that we've been working on, we're adjusting to all of the different Tyler things as well. And also continuing to plan for the 2026 calendar and what's going on with that. So that's quickly approaching and starting to get that set in stone. So that is front of mind as well. And then just going back to, one of the things I don't think I've ever mentioned to this committee is that we also have cases that go to the Court of Appeals. We don't have a lot of them, but we do have those, and those take up time as well. So it's sometimes, I just wanted to point that out since the Justice on Wheels, and that's Wisconsin Supreme Court. But we also have other cases, things that we do that we don't maybe always talk about to the committee. And one of those I just thought I would mention because I happened to get an appeal this week, that we also have cases that go to the Wisconsin Court of Appeals. So that is just kind of part of our job as well. And just trying to, again, educate you on all the different aspects. Many, seems like every day there's things coming in that keep us very busy.
And a thank you to helping the probate across the state transfer. So kudos to office for you guys handling that. Thank you very much. It's a project I heard about. So thank you. All right, anything else?
Nope, as far as the budget, I too did not submit a report this month on the budget. I've been still under budget. Things are looking good. The attorney fees that I've received so far are down a little bit. Some of those very time-consuming cases where they were spending a lot of time in court have come to a conclusion. So I'm hoping to be a little bit under budget this year.
Okay. All right. Anything else? I'm moving on. All right. Item G, District Attorney. Not here right now. Anything, any word from? Okay. Hearing nothing, moving on. Emergency Management Department activities.
Okay, so to close out the year, I'm gonna need to conduct a survey for the integrated preparedness plan for the 2026 priorities. So the IPP is a 3-year prospectus. So each year you have to update the 3rd year out and then include what you did that year that you're closing out. So I need to close out to 2025 and then add a year out to 2028, I believe. So I have to look at what we're gonna do in 26, 27, and 28 going forward. So I have to conduct a survey of the whole county if I can and get it out to everybody here shortly to see if community input would adjust any of the 2026, 7, and 8 priorities. I did attend and evaluate a real hazmat exercise for Adams Juneau on behalf of Richland County, which turned out very well. There was really good participation and there was a lot learned. What happens when a rail corridor gets sabotaged over the peat well, lake, reservoir, whatever it is. So yeah, our exercise is done for the year. Then I have to update 10 hazmat facility offsite plans, and I'm in the process of doing that right now. I got all of the Schreiber and Foremost and RCRI information put together. I just need to update all that. Need some water. As soon as I have all those ready, I have to conduct an LEPC meeting. And then as part of that meeting, I have to review and approve the Vernon County Hazmat Team Agreement. They have an invoice that I have to submit for $2,500 for this year. And then we need to make sure that for next year, that same $2,500 is in the LEPC budget. So I'm not sure where that ended up in terms of
$2,500 for the LEPC budgets.
for the Vernon County Hazmat Team.
We haven't received any invoice or anything.
Yeah, I have one right now for 2025. I'm just making sure for 2026, we have an allocation for the hazmat team for 2,500.
Yes.
As long as that's in the budget and it's a line item we can pull against, we're golden. So then we don't have any lapse of hazmat team coverage for Richland County. Along with that, I have to update the countywide strategic plan, which is a combination of all the hazmat facilities. I'll be working on that. I'll be finalizing the rest of the ECRA closeout issues for the deliverables under the 2025 grant. And then I'm going to begin application for the ECRA Emergency Response Planning Community Right to Know grant for 2026. And I just found out recently that in order to submit that grant, I need to have a resolution to accept those funds. So I need to find out if we have it, what we've got from previous years, updated for this year, and get at least the EPCR part of it. If it's more efficient, EMPG and EPCR together, then we can do that. It's just EMPG hasn't been issued yet for 2026. So I'm not sure if we want to
So
do
is
that
that-
after the NOFO comes out.
So I think the question on that is what committee moves that on to county board for
Right.
approval?
Should be this committee,
Right.
should be this committee, so we can work together on that.
Yeah, it's just, we need to have that resolution accepted by October or whenever I submit it, but by the end of October.
So it's gonna have to be this county, the next county, October County board.
Yeah, the county, so if the finance committee can approve that
We can
resolution.
Talk about it afterwards. Yeah.
Okay, and then it goes to county board, then we can accept the.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Just want to make sure we don't lose track of that.
I'll work on taking out the resolution to see previous versions. I know John and I looked before the meeting and I couldn't find it, but it's a rather large index to dig through in
Yeah.
1 second. So we'll look and I'll actually.
Yeah, so whatever I gotta do to advance it, then we just gotta make sure the county board, I guess it's for our own internal policies that we have to do this.
Yes.
Has nothing to do with the grant itself. I can write the grant and all that. It's just, as I understand it, we have to have that resolution on the books in order for the county to accept the EPCR grant. Does that make sense?
Yep, and Trish got
And we've always done it before, just gotta make sure we get it before the end of October 2025. And that's all I've got.
All right, thank you. Any questions then for emergency management? Get that grant taken care of, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I want to miss that. All right, moving on to item I then, PSAP and NG 911 grant. You guys did turn in a grant?
We did turn in the PSAP grant, so we're awaiting to hear back on that. Actually may reach out to them and see if we can make an edit to it for some equipment that just came to my attention that we need. But it has been submitted and we're waiting to hear on it.
Okay, so at the meeting yesterday with the 911 subcommittee, $14 million of state funding have been identified for the grants. There's $16 million, which means there's $2 million unallotted at this point on that. So anything you find on that, please get it submitted, because if there's extra money, they'll want to use it. The NG 911, which is the GIS grant, the update on that is that will be coming out in January 15th is the target date for the release on that. It's a little bit of a new format. So January 15th release, and then funding by June 1st, I believe, is when funding will be available on that. And then in 2027, we'll start right after that. So there's gonna be 2 grant periods for the GIS side together. And I will get the new documentation out for that, because it's a good program. All right, just so we have updates and times on that. Radio update project, tower project, item J.
I do have a report in the
Awesome.
file. The one thing that I just wanted to kind of highlight is I put some pictures of the retaining wall in there that they are building for the US site. You will recall at the last full county board meeting, it was the $251,000 change order. And I know there were lots of questions about the retaining wall, so hopefully that helps give a perspective of the size of the retaining wall that they are building.
It's not small.
No, it's a long wall.
Any idea how long it is?
I off the top of my head, I don't know. I added it up once. I think it was one of the last meetings this was discussed. I added it up in case somebody was questioning why it was so expensive. But I mean, each leg of it is rather long.
Those blocks are not cheap.
Yeah.
Anything else with that then? Yes, sir.
I do have one thing to add, and I can't believe I missed this when I did my report, but so I just came back from the jail conference, great conference, but less on that. We just completed our jail inspection. So I want to thank Administrator Clements. She took time out of her schedule to attend not only the inspection itself, which was about the whole morning that day, but the close-up meeting. So I'm happy to report that we had a clean inspection. There were no violations. couple little things that he wants us to work on as far as just documentation wise and kind of cross your T, dot your I type stuff, but no violations on the inspection. I want to credit that to Devin and my team in the jail. They do a wonderful job, and I'm looking forward to more clean inspections in the future. So
Definitely, that's huge.
yeah.
That's a good thing. We do, the committee is responsible to do a jail. I'm not sure what they call it for the counties. It's not really an inspection, it's a walkthrough.
Yeah.
At some point, I think we do that in
We usually try to do it in December.
December,
Yeah.
December, January. So that'll be coming up, so the committee knows we'll be walking through jail. All right, anything else on radio tower project? All right, moving on, discussion of possible action amendment to the sheriff's addendum to handbook of personnel policy. Item 8. Sure.
So, yeah, we to go along with the rest of the changes in the county, we're looking to update the addendum to add the holidays of the day after Thanksgiving and Good Friday. Yes, so, we do have a resolution drafted, I believe, Trish, but
Yes.
it didn't make it into the packet. But there is a resolution drafted for this, and, we're just looking for approval to get this onto the county board agenda. We're also working on an MOU with the collective bargaining unit to amend the existing contract as well to reflect this, but that's still in the works.
So does that make an equal number of holidays across the board? Because I know the sheriff's department gets, did you still get birthdays? I mean, that was one.
Yeah, we do get birthdays still, yeah.
So everybody will have 12 holidays.
All right.
Across the board.
Different-
Department.
Different
Different
types, but all across the board. We have a motion from Chad to accept that and move that forward.
I'll second.
Julie seconds that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, please move that forward then. That's great. Discussion of possible action, bids for inmate meal service.
So in the packet, I have a cover sheet and a resolution, and I also have a couple of the 2 bids that we received. So in August, I solicited for bids for meal service for the jail. Our contract is up on January 3rd. Our current contract is up on January 3rd. So I received 2 bids back. I had contacted, trying to think of who I contacted locally. I contacted Schmidt Woodland Hills, Richland Hospital. I did talk with Pine Valley. Locally, reached out to Iowa County Jail. And then I also posted on VendorNet. I believe VendorNet directly submitted to, it was probably around a dozen vendors for bids. Received 2 back. One from our current provider, Summit Correctional Services, and one from Out the Mud Hauling LLC. Doing the math on basically just basing it on kind of what our average population is right now, you're probably going to be around a $300,000 difference between the 2 of them. So that made Summit Foods a pretty easy choice.
$300,000 more is what.
Yeah, I mean, basing it on what our daily population is right
Right.
now, our average population, the Out the Mud Hauling bid was going to be probably around $500,000.
Pricing really high.
Yeah. If you looked at the meal prices from them, they were quite high. They were going to use, it was going to be a partnership deal with Family Restaurant to provide the meals, which would have been nice to have them coming from a block away, but it was.
Their prices were better than we get for reimbursement.
Yeah. So I did notice in the resolution, and I just emailed Derek and Trish about it. I do have a typo we would need to correct in the resolution. It's in the second whereas, it says contract for 2025. It needs to say 2026.
Also, we need health services standing. We'll amend that one as well.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So I'll fix that when I
Yeah.
get it ready for county board.
All right. Yes, that too. Any
This is
questions?
The 1-year contract.
So, and I think we're exploring some options on, how we can maybe bring these costs further down. So, I think I do just want to go with a 1-year contract for this time around. And, maybe we can find a way to save the county even more money going into 27. We might have to spend some money to do that, but I want to explore that option. So.
Okay, so for the 1 year, you're planning to go with
Summit.
Summit. Summit correction. All right,
I'll make a motion with those changes noted.
all right. From Julie, second by Chad.
Second.
Any other questions? Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, hearing none, move that forward. Thank you. Discussion and possible action proclamation recognizing Crash Responder Safety Week. It's going all over the room.
So, we were reached out to by Michael. Last year, they started this crash safety proclamation across the state. I think last year they had 24 different counties that agreed to be part of this proclamation across Wisconsin. Just kind of recognizing law enforcement and other emergency services for their work and trying to promote people slowing down, getting over at crash sites to try to avoid other crashes from the initial crash. So just trying to get more community awareness out there to slow down and move over for accidents along the side of highways. And that's what this proclamation which says, recognizing our emergency personnel.
And what will happen with this proclamation? We'll bring that.
After here, I think just
How are you promoting it?
Well, I think there's materials and stuff like that we can post on
Oh,
social
okay.
media and stuff like that to
All right.
kind of bring more awareness and.
So they're supplying some.
Yep, they're supplying materials we can edit and post,
Okay.
during the week of the proclamation. And
I think that's wonderful.
Is there a fair number of those secondary crashes?
Yeah, they had numbers. There is a lot last year. I'll get it real quick. There was 17 first responders across the county that were struck.
In Richland County?
No, across the
state.
Across the state, yeah.
All the counties, yeah.
Okay. So quite a few.
Too many. All right, looking for a motion to accept. So that proclamation.
Second.
Chad, second by Julie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, very good. We'll take care of that. Thank you. Number 11, correspondence. Any correspondence? Else? All right, hearing none, future agenda items? Agenda items at this point?
It's whether or not there's a resolution, I think we might be able to. That might be put to bed before the end of the month, so if that's the case, then nothing on the resolution for accepting grants.
Yeah, you guys, that'll be done.
I think that'll be
Next month.
before the next
Yep.
meeting, so that
Yep.
should be also.
And fully confident that that will be taken care of.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, item number 13, adjournment.
I'll make a motion
Julie,
here.
Chad, second. All in favor, say aye. And thank you very much.
Aye.
So I went into survival mode.
Yeah.